Satnam. I think many of you have heard of Yogi Tea, and then when you think about it, you think about the Yogi Tea company, and they make about like probably 60 different kinds of teas, and all of them have the base in them of the original recipe. The original recipe, Yogi Tea, was given as an Ayurvedic formula for health, healing, strengthening us, getting rid of impurities in the system. The original Yogi Tea recipe, you can probably find it on, you just Google Yogi Tea recipe and it'll come up like a million times. Thank God, huh? We have the internet. But in the science of Ayurveda, the spices are said to have the following properties. The first one's black pepper, and we know from our other discussions that it helps with allergies. It also purifies the blood. That's one. There's only 5 spices. Number 2, cardamom. Cardamom is like a little seed that you peel it open. There's little teeny seeds in it, and it's for the digestion. People, I've seen people just take those cardamom pods and they just chew on them, and they like them. It makes your breath better, and it just makes you feel better. It's kind of fun to have something like that in your mouth. Number 3, cloves. Now, cloves, you have to be careful how much you put in there because they are very strong. They help the nervous system. It's an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, which many of us are really interested in, and antiseptic. They're thought to have anti-parasitic functions. And, we sometimes will use Yogi Tea for children that are teething, watered down a bit, and you can let them drink the Yogi Tea, and because of the cloves, the inflammation in the gums will go down. It's like a volcano's going off in a child's mouth. It hurts so much. That's why they cry a lot. You can also water down clove oil or mix it with a little almond oil and then swab it on the child's gums, and that sometimes helps them. So cloves, they're really great. They can get rid of parasites, like it said. Then the next one is the cinnamon. And it's good for your bones and blood sugar regulation. In some Yogi Tea, people will get the kind of cinnamon that's in a bark, big pieces, and they're curly. And if you take a little bite of it underneath, it's like so sweet. It tastes so good. It's natural sweetness. And then the last one is the ginger root. And we all know about ginger. Cold, flu, your weakness, digestion problems, and to help you become more potent. Ginger is great. It helps in everything. So then you can use a little bit of milk. The milk, if you ever say the word milk to somebody these days, they start screaming at you, I'm allergic to milk, I don't drink dairy. And you go, shut up. Because there's so many different kinds of milk. You can use oat milk and almond milk and soy milk and coconut milk. Just hemp milk. Figure out some kind of milk. And it said the milk will help the spices be assimilated into your system and avoid irritation in the stomach. And lastly, after you made the Yogi Tea, you can put a pinch of black tea if you want. And it brings a little bit of stimulation, a little pickup. Now, what we used to do, I used to live in a lot of ashrams in the early days. We'd always have a big pot, like huge. And then they'd pour water into it, and there'd always be some water filter. Some cases, there was a hose. Those are the poorer ashrams in the early days. And they'd fill the pot up to the top, throw the Yogi Tea spices in, and like I said, get the recipe off the internet. And then you just put it to a boil, and you let them boil. And then my opinion is once it starts boiling, cook the top to the side and then just put it on simmer and let it cook. And then once it's done, you'll see it just smells so great. Makes the whole house smell great. Now, if you ever want to use Yogi Tea as a beverage, what you'll do is take some of that, maybe a couple cups, put it in a saucepan, put it on to boil, pour the milk in, and then you'll see the milk will rise up. And don't let it rise over because it's really hard to clean the stove. And turn it off before it rises over. And then you just pour it into a cup, into an 8-ounce coffee mug. And then you can put that little black tea bag in there if you want. Or always add the black tea in the end, just for a couple minutes. Don't let it like boil with everything else. And then you take it out and you've got this great beverage. It can be taken hot or cold. I used to sometimes put it in the blender and blend it up with ice cubes and a little bit of, at those days I ate honey. Now I would use stevia or monk fruit. But that way you can make it a little sweet and it can be kind of an iced beverage. Now, the other thing, if you want to use it to heal, now this is really why I wanted to talk about this. We're almost done, so don't worry. If you want to do a healing on yourself, if you want to do a cleansing on yourself, a really good way to do it is make yogi tea and keep it in the refrigerator in a pitcher cold. And every morning after you've gotten up and you've brushed your teeth and you've gagged, remember we gag? We'll go over that later. Then you rinse your mouth and then you go in and take a cup, 8 ounces of the cold yogi tea mixture. And then you sip it slowly. Then you wait about maybe half hour or so before you eat anything. It'll go through your liver, it'll go through your digestion, it'll go through the gallbladder, the pancreas, the intestinal tract, your stomach, and it just pulls the mucus out. It's so great. So one time my teacher gave this, he only gave it once in LA at the end of a class, and he said, try it for 3 days and just see how you feel. You might get a lot of energy. Now I remember in the early days we used to take yogi tea and just fast on it for a few days. So that's something you can do too, but this is a very specific remedy for in the morning to get your energy back, to clean out your internal organs, and just make you feel bright and better. So that's the yogi tea in brief story. And I wish you all the best. Remember, sip it slowly in the morning. Sat Nam.